What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Friday, August 19th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 14 game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So a stud on the slate that I like is Blake Snell, but I am a little bit cautious here. I think I might prefer to pay down at pitcher and take a risk with Brady Singer. He's pitching against a low salary batting team, the Tampa Bay Rays. Brady Singer, he's pitching his best ball versus righty and switch hitters, giving up a .690 OPS versus righties, and he's only giving up a .571 OPS versus switch hitters, facing 4 righties and 3 switch hitters. So the Rays have hit 3 of his last 23 pitches. Now that's not a huge sample size, but it's a good start. That's a 130 batting average. And Brady Singer is only $8,600 FanDuel salary. He's $300 less on DraftKings. He's averaging 31 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 49, 47, and 15 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He has an ERA of 3.29. Record is 6-4, pitching an average of 85 pitches per game. And Vegas thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game. Only 6.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Brady Singer here versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. Home run hitter I like on the slate is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but I also like Jose Miranda, who has a 22% batting advantage over Martin Perez. Jose Miranda batting 6% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .838 OPS versus lefties. Martin Perez pitching 16% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .753 OPS versus righties. So Jose Miranda is 1 for 3 here versus Perez, and that one hit was a home run. He's $3,200 FanDuel salary, only $600 more on DraftKings, so I like that price on both sites. He's averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's been on fire, scoring 25, 16, and 10 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He has scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5, and he has a batting average of .286. So I like Jose Miranda here versus Martin Perez. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. So I like Brendan Rodgers with a 48% batting advantage over Alex Wood. Brendan Rodgers batting 26% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .969 OPS versus lefties. Alex Wood pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 22% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .744 OPS versus righties. Brendan Rodgers is 4 for 10 here versus Wood with a .900 OPS. He's $3,400 FanDuel salary, $1,700 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games, has a batting average of .283. So I like Brendan Rodgers here versus Alex Wood. Now I also like Jeff McNeil and Javier Baez. Both those guys only $2,700 FanDuel salary and $1,600 to $1,900 more on DraftKings. So I think the price is right for both of these guys, especially because Jeff McNeil is 11 for 36 here versus Aaron Nola. It's a .306 batting average. And Javier Baez is batting to his strong hand versus lefty pitchers, where he bats 24% better, batting a .903 OPS versus lefty pitchers. And Patrick Sandoval pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .734 OPS versus righties. So I like Jeff McNeil and Javier Baez as a couple of value plays. Now let's take a look at the third base position. I like Jose Ramirez with a 31% batting advantage over Lance Lynn. Jose Ramirez batting 12% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a .926 OPS versus righties. Lance Lynn pitches his worst ball versus switch hitters, 19% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .819 OPS versus switch hitters. Jose Ramirez is 8 for 23 here versus Lynn. It's a .348 batting average with a 1.290 OPS. 3 of those hits are home runs, and he has a couple doubles in there. He's $4,300 FanDuel salary, $1,400 more on DraftKings, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. He has a batting average of .281. So I like Jose Ramirez here versus Lance Lynn.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Now a nice value play here is Ramon Urias. He's got a 66% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Cutter Crawford. Ramon Urias, he's batting 8% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .759 OPS versus righties. And I like this pick because Cutter Crawford pitches his worst ball by far to righty batters, 59% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .366 OPS versus righties. Now there's no at-bats versus Crawford yet, but I also like this pick because Ramon Urias is $2,600 FanDuel salary, $600 more on DraftKings. He has a batting average of .245, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. So I like Ramon Urias here versus Cutter Crawford. Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Carlos Correa with a 21% batting advantage over Martin Perez. Carlos Correa batting 5% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .854 OPS versus lefties. Martin Perez pitching his worst ball, not his worst ball actually, he pitches his worst ball versus switch hitters, but his pitch to righties is 16% worse than his pitch to lefties, giving up a .753 OPS versus righties. But the reason I like this pick is because Carlos Correa is 7 for 22. It's a .318 batting average and a 1.126 OPS versus Perez. Big sample size, has 2 home runs in there, couple of doubles. He's $3,200 FanDuel salary, $1,600 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. and he scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He has a batting average of .272, so I like Carlos Correa here versus Martin Perez. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. Couple of home run hitters that I like, actually 3 home run hitters that I like. Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, all 3 of those guys in great spots. It actually looks like Juan Soto's in a pretty good spot as well. So if we're going to pay down at this position, you want a value play, take a look at Sam Haggerty with a 39% batting advantage over Cole Irvin. Sam Haggerty batting 36% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .917 OPS versus lefties. Cole Irvin pitching his worst ball versus switch hitters, giving up a .702 OPS versus switch hitters. There's no at-bats versus Irvin yet, but I like this pick because Sam Haggerty, only $2,600 FanDuel salary, and he's $600 less on DraftKings. Now, he's only averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season, but he's been on fire, scoring fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. In 4 of those 5, he scored 12 fantasy points or more. He has a batting average of .310. So I like Sam Haggerty as a value play here versus Cole Irvin.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.